Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast.
This is a show dedicated to helping you become a better organist.
We're your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius.
And Ausra Pinkevičienė.
We have over 30 years of experience of playing the organ.
And we've been teaching thousands of organists online from 89 countries since 2011.
So now let's jump in and get started with the podcast for today.
We hope you'll enjoy it.
Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 751 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. And this question was sent by Duncan. And he basically commented on a very old video of mine, how to play C major pedal scale.
Isn't that the
most popular
video
of all time? He writes, I've been playing the organ for a while and got used to playing in new balanced 327 trainers. And Ausra and I were not necessarily sure what does it mean, balanced 327 trainers, and we looked it up. So these are like similar to sport shoes, right, Ausra?
Yes, that's right. Looks very comfy.
Comfy, not necessarily for riding perhaps, and it's a little different. It's maybe for balance, as it's written, right? But let's talk about using such shoes. What would happen if you would use those shoes on the organ? My answer to him was sort of very simple, that any shoes are okay to press a few pedals, right? You could press your pedals even without shoes, with bare feet. Or you could press some keys with sandals, But if you wanted to progress and develop your real pedal technique, normal, regular organ shoes would be required. And it depends, of course, on their goals, on organists' goals. If they only want to play a few notes on the pedals, why not? Any shoes would do. Even street shoes would do, but I wouldn't advise using street shoes, not for that reason, that it's not technically comfortable, but for dust and garbage from the street. You wouldn't want to take it on your pedal board and damage some mechanism because of that.
Well, I think everything depends on the attitude, on the culture, on how you were trained in general. Because for us, was shock when we went to study to the United States that most of the people use their street shoes back at home. It would be totally inappropriate in Lithuania because we always, take our street shoes off, and we use our slippers to walk around our home. That keeps, our house cleaner and it's more comfortable for your feet. But in the United States, I guess only Pamela Reuter-Finstra, our former organ professor at Eastern Michigan University, did what we used to do. But everybody else would just use their, street shoes.
She was influenced, by the way, by European organ culture a lot, and maybe in general by European culture. So it's a question in which countries in Europe they don't use shoes at home. And it appears that our neighbors, Poland, for example, don't use shoes at home.
Sure.
Maybe other countries
and
too.
I guess, if you travel to Scandinavia, we also, don't use the street shoes inside of a home, because we have, winter and cold season that lasts for almost half a year, and we use like sand and salt on our streets, to avoid slipping and falling. and that if you would bring those shoes back home and walk with them at home, then I don't know what would happen with your floor. But, well, surprisingly, with the organ culture and organ shoes, it's probably an opposite. Because it's quite normal, let's say, in the village church to come from the outside and to play with your walking shoes, which I find highly inappropriate. And in United States, no, I would say 99% of organists, we have special professional organ shoes and strictly, wear them while we play the organ. And for me, as I see it, I think it's very important to have organ shoes, not necessarily like professional organ shoes, but like special pair of boots, shoes, and whatever feels comfortable for you, but that you would wear them only while playing the organ. That way you would keep your pedal board clean.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason not to use the same shoes on the street and on the organ bench. Yeah, but I would think hard about the goals of an organist, right? What do they want to achieve with their pedals? Some people are happy to play, let's say, covers of popular songs on the organ and press only a few keys on the pedals to provide bass support, right? In one song, in one cover would be maybe 3 to 5 chords, so they would need 3 to 5 pedals. So if this is the case, then obviously you wouldn't need even a right foot, only one foot is then easy enough to use for this, and obviously only toes, not heels, and why bother with real organ shoes then, right? If you only need 5 or 3 pedals to play. Does it make sense, Ausra?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
But if you play with your street shoes on your organ, at least what you can do, you can wipe your feet before sitting down on the organ bench.
Yeah,
that's a common courtesy.
Yeah, like you have a rug, special rug next to the organ bench, and wipe your feet before sitting down. That would be also possible. Even if you would, even if you use organ shoes, but you, for example, use them in the church on the organ balcony, where the floor might not be necessarily very clean, right? And if you change your real organ shoes some meters away, like on the bench away from the organ, and you still would walk a few meters on the balcony, not quite clean floor, then this special rug to wipe off the dust from the street would be beneficial, even while using real organ shoes. Don't you think, Ausra?
Yes, that's a very good advice.
We have a special rug next to the great organ at St. John's Church at Vilnius University.
It's simply a simple, common courtesy for other organists if you are not the only user of that particular instrument.
It's like similar, like washing hands before playing, right?
Yes.
You don't know what you did before. Maybe you ate a hamburger or some greasy food, or you went outside and got some germs on your hands, and before sitting down and playing, it's advisable to clean your hands, either wash with warm water and soap, or at least with a disinfectant liquid,
Yeah, We all have plenty of that at home after the pandemics, I
True.
think.
So it's a basic hygiene, basically, not even speaking technically about your pedal technique, but and common courtesy to others. Yeah, if you're using an instrument not which is not at your home, but used by others as well.
Sure. And if you come to Lithuania or let's say to Poland and you come as a guest to anybody's house and you will ask if you have to take your shoes off, obviously the host would tell you, oh no, you don't have to do it. But you should know that you must take your shoes off. You will make the hostesses much happier, because they will be really upset if you will walk with street shoes on their clean floor.
Yeah, the host or hostess isn't supposed to say, tell the guest that they should take off the shoes. But the guest also isn't supposed to wear shoes at home. So it's like works reverse psychology in this case. Yeah, you just need to know some traditions, European traditions, this way. So, what would you like to add, Ausra, before I take a sip of water from our Secrets of Organ Playing mug? By the way, if you like our Secrets of Organ Playing mug, you can check it out in the description of this video. And you can see if this is a nice gift for yourself as well. I gifted Ausra a mug like this too.
Yes.
A while ago.
I'm still saving it
For Christmas?
for better times.
Yeah, but it's nice to have a special organ mug.
Yes, it's very nice.
All right, so following up from our conversation about wearing or not wearing street shoes, what kind of shoes, organ shoes or sports shoes, or what kind of shoe, what would happen, Ausra, if a person would use only socks, no shoes at all on the organ?
I thought about it and I think it would be fine, especially in that case, as you talked, if you have to play, let's say, only 3 pedal keys.
3 or 5,
Yes. Then you just take your shoes off, and play on socks.
This is either beginner organ music or not organ music at all. It's arrangements of popular songs, let's say. Because there are organ compositions like this which only use 2 pedals, a tonic and dominant. The most famous example is Cipoli's Pastorale. Italian organ music, basically. They didn't have extended pedal board and didn't have a modern range of the pedal board. They only had 1 octave and short keys. So no heels would fit on the pedals, obviously, and only would use tip of the toes. And you wouldn't even play scales and arpeggios on those, right? And melodies. So only basic support of the bass in Italian tradition for a long time until the modern pedal board was fashionable in that country. So it could happen, but Ausra wants to add.
Well, and if you are playing Baroque music, also you can do it on socks, because you suppose use only your toes while playing, early music, and that would work perfectly. And sometimes I do that if it's winter and it's really cold, then it's better to, put your woolen socks and play on socks than to squeeze your feet into the narrow organ shoe. And Well, but if you are playing romantic music and you have to play legato, like big passages in the pedal, on the pedal board, then I don't know how can you do that without organ shoes. It might, hurt your ankle really badly.
Yeah, think about your goals, obviously, and what would it mean to you if you could actually play advanced organ passages on the pedals? Maybe you don't have such goal right now, but what if you could? Would it make sense for you to get real organ shoes or shoes that look very similar to organ shoes, like dancer's shoes? That's another option, right? So maybe a person like Duncan right now doesn't have a goal to play real organ repertoire, right? Extended pedal board, and to use both feet and heels at the same time while playing hands. But why limit yourself, right?
Sure.
If you have an organ and pedal board which would allow you to play such music, at least 2 octaves, right? Why stop there? Why stop with 3 or 5 notes and shoes that are normally worn on the street?
Let's play chromatic scales and, the chords with your feet.
Cool.
Sometimes Louis Vierne requires to play the chords.
Yes, 2 notes in the left hand foot and 2 notes in the right hand. Not right hand.
Right hand.
Left foot and right foot.
Right foot, yes.
Toes and heels at the same time. Therefore, you need good heels.
That's
Otherwise,
right.
you would hit the wrong pedal.
Yes, because with a sport where you could not do that. Definitely not.
All right, this is also important question to discuss. So I'm glad
Of course, it's very important.
we found Duncan's comment. And please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. This was Vidas.
And Ausra.
And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.
This podcast is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online.
He has hundreds of courses, coaching and practice materials for every area of organ playing, thousands of instructional videos and PDFs. You will not find more value anywhere else online.
Total Organist helps you to master any piece, perfect your technique, develop your sight reading skills, improvise or compose your own music, and much, much more.
Sign up and begin your training today at organduo.lt and click on Total Organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
If you like our organ music, you can also support us on Buy Me a Coffee platform.
Find out more at buymeacoffee.com/organduo.